All right, let's see if I'm live and let's see if there's sound. So I'm using an old microphone that is not so great, so hopefully it doesn't run out of power. So I'm going to wait just a couple minutes and see if I'm actually live and if anybody comes to this, since it's not a usual live where I'm talking about sewing or upholstery. So there probably won't be anybody here, but let's wait a couple minutes and see if anybody shows up. Yeah. Oh, good. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started then. We won't make anybody wait any longer. All right, so hi everyone, it's Mimzy here, and I'm back with another work in progress Wednesday. It's been a couple weeks since I did a work in progress. I've been out of town for a week and just got back yesterday. Is that Dad? Oh. Bean, you want to come through? Come on through. Come on, Seraphine, I'll let you in. Okay, sorry about that. So my daughter just got home. Um, so I just got back in town yesterday after working in Naples for a week straight, and now I'm ready to get back into it. I haven't posted any videos in a couple weeks because I've been so busy on this huge project on my back patio. So I'm going to show you around. I'm sitting here on my brand new couch that I just got on Facebook Marketplace last week, right before I left for my job. It's a restoration hardware couch that I bought for 400 bucks. So I'm super excited about this. It's going to be my sofa out on my back patio. So I think that I included this project on my last video. I can't remember what the last video was about. Fearless. Oh, yeah. The one about being fearless with your DIY. I did include a sneak peek of my back patio project in that video. And at that point in time, I had only done, the only thing I did was basically braced up the ceiling of the back patio so that I could get started in taking out all the screens and all the 4x4s and everything. So anyway, the project that I've been working on is I am closing in my screened patio and making it into an air conditioned all season room. And as you can see behind me, it's already opened up. Go ahead. So my I had sliding glass doors here and over there. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see them? Okay. And so those were two 10-foot wide sliding glass doors that went out to my screened in lanai, and now I closed that all in with sliding glass doors. And so I took these out and actually put two of them out there. So let's go out there and I'll show you around. Okay, you can stop here and let me do something here. Okay, so I had how is the sound? Is this microphone working? You can hear me? Okay. So this is where the sliding glass doors were, and clearly I took them out, and I have these gaping holes here all the way around, which I have to cover. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy 1x8s, which will go basically from here to here, and trim that out all the way from floor to ceiling and then across the ceiling and down the other side. And I'll take off this little piece of corner molding, and I'm going to put a 1x4 here. So these will butt join together, and then that'll go up to here. And then I'm going to use a 1x8 from basically from here to the ceiling and create like a sort of a header up there. And then I'll cut that crown molding away and put a new piece of crown molding on top of that, so that this trim piece will go to the ceiling and it'll make this feel a little bit higher and give this opening kind of a grander look. and have it go all the way to the ceiling. So that's my plan there. And then the curtains, I'm going to take the curtain track down and basically just move that out to there. So I'm going to still ceiling mount the track, but out here. And I bought the corner curved bracket that goes with this IKEA track. And I'm going to put that in the corner so that the curtain will come around the corners on both sides of the patio. So I'm just going to move those out there, and that'll soften up this whole area. So hopefully with the trim molding here and then the curtains out there, it'll kind of draw you out that way because the curtains will be out there. And I've had curtains on these windows in here for so long that I'm a little bit afraid to, once I take them down, that there's not going to be any softness in here. There's not going to be any fabric in here. So I'm hoping that with the fabric out there and just seeing the fabric out there, that it'll give that softness that we need in here, because this is just going to be like all hard surfaces now. So we'll see how that goes. So hopefully that works out. So let's go outside. And then as far as the flooring, I am hoping to get new flooring in the whole main area of my house very soon. I've been needing to do flooring in my house since we moved in. It's been, I've had tile in the foyer and down the hallway, and then this is like this laminate flooring here, and then my kitchen is a different flooring. So everything, the floors in here are just all different. And then of course out here it's brick. So what I would like to do is make my foyer, living room, dining room, and kitchen all one. And then the brick out here. And then of course this will come all the way to this edge. So what I'll have to do is I'm going to have to pour a little bit more cement here in order to make this level. And then I'll just bring whatever new flooring I put in all the way to this edge. I am going to leave the brick out here because I do kind of like it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-grout it. I'm going to clean it really well. And then I'm going to re-grout it, and I'm going to over-grout it. So what that means is I'm going to leave some of the grout on the brick so that it has kind of a whitewashed feel, sort of whitewashed. You know what I mean? I'm going to leave some of the grout on the brick, so it just has more of a cottage feeling to the brick rather than this 70s brick feeling. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm going to do out here. I like the fact that it's brick because it'll be super, super durable, and easy to maintain. So I'll do the over grouting, and then I'll seal that with some sort of brick sealer, I think. So, all right. So how much can you see? As much as possible. So, okay, so this whole project started because I got a sponsorship with Mr. Cool DIY, and I was gifted this mini split system. And this is basically the whole, thank you, Hannah. This is basically the whole reason I was able to do this project. And this is what I've been waiting for. We've lived here for 17 years, and I've always wanted to close this in and take out these doors. But it couldn't have been done without an air conditioner unit out here because this is such a big space. It's almost 800 square feet. My patio is 40 feet long by 17 feet deep. So it's almost 800 square feet. So anyways, it needed to be air conditioned on its own. And so because I got that mini split, that's what allowed me to go ahead and do this project, which was huge, huge. And I did do a video of this for the brand, but I couldn't share it on my own channel. So that's what started it. So, so these doors are the set of sliders that were right here, dividing my house from the patio. And these are 10 feet. And that door is operable. This one is not. It could be operable, but I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it stationary, and we're just going to use that one. So I installed these just like you would install a normal sliding glass door working. And then I collected sliding glass doors for probably, it's been years. I've been collecting sliding glass doors for years on Facebook Marketplace. I think I might have even gotten a couple of them on Craigslist back then when Craigslist was a thing. And so I was just stacking them on the side of my house. So each of these windows is a single 36-inch sliding glass door. And I just framed them in. So I guess I should probably show from the outside too. But anyhow, so I have there's 4x4s, 4x4 lumber back here, behind here. And I screwed the sliding glass door right through the metal frame and into that 4x4. So I guess I could show over there where it's still not covered to show how it looks. So anyways, that's what I did. And then I covered all of the metal framing of the sliding glass door with this thin plywood, and then a tiny piece of quarter round that I bought at the Habitat for Humanity. I got a whole bundle of quarter round from Habitat for Humanity for really cheap. And then the plywood was pretty inexpensive because it's really thin. It's the underlayment. And then, yeah. And so then I used 1x4s for my baseboard, and that pretty much covers up the whole metal part of the sliding glass doors because, you know, to make it look nice. So some of the sliding glass doors were silver, some of them were bronze, like this. So as you can see, these are mismatched, and that's because I painted these. And that's what I'm going to do with all of this. I'm going to paint all the silver or aluminum parts. I'm going to paint it like a bronze or, you know, a dark brownish black like this. So it'll look like they're like steel doors. So that's the plan with that. So that'll look much nicer once this is all painted. And I painted this with oil paint. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Rust-Oleum oil and paint all this. Is there a chicken out? So that's that part. I'll take you down to the other end of the room so you can see really how I attached the sliding doors to the wood trim. Oh, and then let me talk about this. Can you see the triple sliders? So this was my plan for these to have a nice big opening, basically straight out from that door to straight out. And I bought this set of triple sliders probably about a year ago from a man near me that from Facebook Marketplace, and he sold these. I think this set of triple sliders was either $40 or $60. It was some ridiculously low price. I had to drive about an hour to get to them, but no big deal. And it had all the tracks, the side tracks, the floor track. It was the whole thing. So these sliding glass doors are amazing because this is a whole 8-foot opening here. And it's just wonderful. So it was actually supposed to be a 12-foot opening. There was one more panel. Yes, there was one more panel. So it was supposed to be, no, 16. It would have been, so it was supposed to be 16 feet, but then the opening would have been 12 feet because it was 4 doors and they all went into each other. But because of the height of this, I couldn't go with that big of an opening in order to comply with the load factor for the header. So I had to have at least a 1 or a 2x8 up here in order to have this opening be the 8 feet wide. So anyways, I cut down the door track and I only used 3 of the doors. So now I've got an 8-foot opening, which is plenty for me. That's totally sufficient. My alarm is ringing. So now I have a giant opening here and I love it, love it, love it. And it goes out to my outdoor eating area, which I am going to, this is actually 2 tables. Can you see the tables? So this is actually 2 tables put together to make one long table. So what I'm going to do is separate it and put that table that way. And I'll move that table down a little bit. So we'll have an opening between the 2 tables right here. So I'll have to take down my little arched plant thing. And I've already got new planters to replant that. So, all right, so let's go over here. You can see so I think what I'll do is I'll move this chair, Hannah. And that way, maybe. No, I got it. Okay, so you can see on this side, I have not yet covered the metal frame of the door. I did cover it here, but I have not covered it here. So this is how all of the sliding glass doors looked prior to me trimming them out with this wood trim. It was just the metal sliding door frame, and you can see it still has the handle on there. I did not take those out. Well, some of them I did, like this one I did, but some of them I didn't take the handles off of, and I just covered them with the wood trim. So that's what that looks like. And obviously I'm going to trim out all this. So I'm just insulating this, and then I will drywall all around there once I get this trimmed out and this trimmed out. So it's a little bit of finagling when you're doing things like this that are not traditional or that are a little bit DIY and creative, I guess. I don't know. It's a little bit janky. I'm sure there's people that would probably think this was a little bit weird, but I love it. I love, love, love it. I love the way it looks. And I will say that sliding glass doors are made with tempered glass, and they're generally a little bit thicker than regular window glass. So I feel good about that too. When I was originally thinking about doing this project, I was looking for windows on Facebook Marketplace, and I was going to buy 36-inch wide windows. But it was difficult to find that many that were the same height. So that's why I decided to go with the sliding glass doors. And although they don't open, I can't just open the windows. I'm okay with that because I have such a wide opening of the doors there. Plus I have a sliding door here that's operable, and then the sliding door over there that's operable. So I do feel like I'll have plenty of air circulation out here when I want it, when the weather is beautiful like it is today. Today is absolutely a gorgeous day. It's about 70 degrees and it's lovely out here. So anyway, I don't feel like I will miss being able to open the windows. So what? Right, that's true. Yeah, yeah. So anyhow, so far I'm absolutely loving it. And as far as, let me actually grab my list. I had a list of things I wanted to talk about. Oh, so the way that I fastened this wood, and I can kind of show you because, oh, I guess I didn't fasten this. Oh, I did fasten it up there. So this is fastened. And what I did is I took these tiny little screws, they're little trim head screws. Thank you, Hannah. And I just screwed the wood in between the 2 halves of the door. So you see how the doors are butted up against each other. There's a little space. Some of them, there's a little bit more space than others. But I just used tiny trim head screws and screwed right through the wood and then in between the two doors and into the 4x4 back there. So, okay, so I wanted to talk about the mini split, the trim, okay, moving the curtains. Yep. Oh, and then painting the sliders bronze. I talked about that. And then, so I think for now, I'm going to paint all of this trim white. I was thinking about doing a color. I thought about painting it green because initially I thought I was going to do a real dark green because I wanted it to just kind of recede and I wanted this part to disappear with the outside. But I tried it over there. I think you probably saw that, and it just looks way too dark to me. So I decided to just go with a white, and I'll live with it for a little bit and see how I like it, and then I'll maybe do a color later. I have a really pretty green over there that I was thinking of using, and I may do that eventually, but I think I'm going to just live with it white for now and see how it feels after a while, which is the beauty of DIY. When you do things yourself, it's really nice because you can live with your space for a while. If I had contractors doing the work for me, I would have to be making quick decisions on the fly if I had somebody scheduled to do the painting. And then what happens if I don't like it? Like, what happens if he came over, she came over and started painting and it was terrible? Like that color that I initially thought I was going to use, and then I put it up there and I realized I absolutely hated it. It just felt like it was just closing in on me. So that is one of the really great things about DIY, is being able to take your time, live in a space, try out a color. You know, not only is it going to save you a boatload of money, but it also can save some frustration in that you don't have to be in such a big fat hurry to get things done because this contractor is waiting on a paint color, or that contractor is waiting for that contractor to finish, that kind of a thing. It's a lot, in my opinion, it's a lot less stressful because you can just take your time and do it at your own pace. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's about it. Are there does anybody have a question about anything out here? It's such a mess because I've been working on this for probably 2 weeks and I've only been working on it a little bit here and a little bit there. I've got to do something with the ceiling. The ceilings are tongue and groove pine, and I really need to insulate the ceilings because when the sun, we have a ton of trees and there's just a really lot of shade in our yards, which is really nice. But during the peak sunlight hours from like 1 o'clock to 3 p.m., it's super duper. I get direct sunlight on my roof from about 1 to 3 in certain spots. And the spots on the roof where the sun is hitting the roof directly, you can actually feel the heat radiating from the ceiling. So I'm going to have to do some sort of radiant barrier on the ceiling, which is kind of a bummer because I've got all this tongue and groove up here, which looks so nice and cottagey and cute. And it's such an expensive finish, the tongue and groove. So I'm sad that I'm going to have to cover it. But I think for energy conservation and so that my air conditioner can work efficiently, I'm going to have to put some sort of radiant barrier up there. So I've got to finish insulating that wall, close that in with drywall, paint those door frames. I'm going to paint these door frames as well in the bronze and the dark bronze. Paint everything, all the trim. I have to paint the whole ceiling. I was going back and forth with that since I'm going to do the radiant barrier, whether or not I'm actually going to paint the ceiling. And I'm not sure when exactly I'm going to be able to do the radiant barrier because that part's going to be a little bit pricey. That's not something I can probably, actually, I haven't looked at Facebook. I should probably look at Facebook for Marketplace to see if anybody's got any of that. It's like a foam, not a foam. It's like a foil, silver foil radiant barrier that I'll put up there. And then I'm going to put a foam insulation over that. And then I'm not exactly sure what the finishing is going to be on that. I might just paint it, because I have seen people paint foam insulation and leave it on their ceiling like that, and it looks good. My daughter's giving me a crazy, crazy look. But I saw somebody do it years ago, and I can't remember who or where I saw it, but I was like, holy moly, I can't believe that's just insulation painted. It looked good. Like, it looked like wood. It looked flat and like wood. So I might do that to start with, and then eventually, if I can afford it, I'll get new tongue and groove to put over that. And then maybe I'll even stain it so it'll be wood. That would be really pretty. Anyways, let's swing around to the brick, and we can talk about those paint colors. So I talked about potentially doing, let me show you the green real quick. So I talked about potentially doing this green, all the way over to there, and just doing that piece of trim around the door green, and then those walls white, because on the other side I have brick. And this is the green I was thinking about using. Can you see it? It's a really pretty green. It's called Pesto Paste, and it's super pretty. And I just think it would look really pretty to have this on here, because then that would totally just blend with the green outside of my house, right? I think that would be really great, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm going to paint it white for now, and then we'll see, because I can't bring green around to the other side because I have brick on the other side of my house. I'll show you. So this whole surrounding exterior wall here is brick, and green on that would look ridiculous. So I think I'm going to use this off-white color on the brick, and I'll have this go all the way around and then to that wall and that wall over there. So yeah. And then eventually I'll put a TV here, because then my sofa will be straight centered on this wall here, and my sofa will be over there. So that's the plan. And I have two huge sisal rugs to go out here, and I'm going to butt them up against each other side by side in order to make it one giant rug. And then I think I might put another area rug on top of that in the center, so it'll cover that join. I don't know about that yet, but anyways, so that's the plan. Anyhow, so that's the plan. That's what I've been doing. That's why I haven't been posting videos regularly, because I've been working out here, and this has taken me way longer than I expected, because I've just kind of been doing it little by little. I do a little bit, then I stand back and look at it. I do a little bit more. I have to figure out the next step and how I'm going to do it. And so it's taken me longer than I expected. And anyway, I should finish this up this week. I have to have it finished by Easter, because I'm having company over for Easter Sunday dinner, and that's got to be done by then. So anyway, I'm going to get back to my regular sewing and upholstery content hopefully next week. And maybe next week's work in progress live, I'll do just a quick recap of this with some furniture and hopefully all done. So check back next Wednesday, or check back on the community page on my channel, and I will let you know what next week's work in progress Wednesday is going to be. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. I need to reupholster these wing chairs. This wing chair right here. Oh, I'll show that to you real quick. So I picked out some fabric for this set of wing chairs. I am going to use this beautiful animal print, which matches that fabric on the ottoman that I reupholstered in the work in progress a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I love this fabric, and that's what I'm going to use on these two wing chairs. So stay tuned for that, because I'll definitely make a video of that. And maybe, probably not, but maybe it'll be next week's work in progress. I can't imagine I'll get all this done and be able to get on with that, but I'll do something sewing or upholstery related next week. So if you are able, go ahead and put in the comments of this work in progress what kind of projects you want to see on the next work in progress. If it's upholstery, slip covering, let me know. So, all right. I'm going to close this right there. Thanks for being here, you guys. If you have any questions. Oh, is there a question?
Someone said, just wondering, why can't you insulate roof rather than covering your pretty?
Insulate the roof instead. Well, we are going, so that is something that my husband brought up. He said, we are going to go ahead and paint the roof over this patio with like one of those cool seal roofing things. Like cool seal roofing paint, like that reflective paint. So we will do that. And I think it will help, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think that, and I don't know, I might live with it like this for a while. Maybe I'll live with it into the summer and see if it's livable like this. I think it's probably going to get a little, it's going to be hard for the air conditioner to really cool it off in here sufficiently. I think. We'll see. I might live with it for a while. So, anyways, thanks for the question. And I will see you guys next week on next week's work in progress. Thank you for being here, y'all.